Hello everyone, welcome back to the second video of this Make a Game series. I hope you enjoyed the first one, though there might have been some errors, there might have been some mistakes. I apologize, and I hope this time there will be no mistakes. So, let's get on with the video. Okay, so I'm back, and last time I tried to make the string change game. Turns out the input events might not have been working in that game controller, and I also saved the level without really teaching. So here's how you save the level. You can press this. It's called save currents. And when you save currents, you can name the level anything. Like for example, I will name it level 1. And as you can see here, it saves it right here. Though it might be new that it made a new folder for it. Thank God. But right now I want to show you how to make sure that the editor always opens up the level that you want. If you go to project settings here and go to maps and modes, maps and modes, you can set it right here, default maps. I prefer setting the two of them because just to make sure. And now we have set the level. Time to get on with the real game. And I'm back, and what we want to do now is to make the top down, at the same time side view, top down shooter in Unreal. So let's make the character first. What we're going to do now is to make a new blueprint class, and we're going to make it based off the character parent class. I'm going to call it main character. And I'm also going to create a new folder called main. This is where I will store the main things of the game. For example, the main character. And you also need to make a game mode so that Unreal Engine can realize a set of rules that you want to do. And with that set of rules, I'll make a new game mode called main game mode. And how you set it is you set it in the maps and modes. You click here and you should see the main game mode. Once you click it, you set it right here and you should go main character. And that's all you need to do is to set up the main character. And right now, what we're going to do next is to open up the main character blueprints. Okay, so now what we want to do is to double click this to open up the blueprints of the main character. Now we should be able to change things in game with input events, because the main character at default should the game controller or the player controller should take in input events by default. I'm still not sure why before it wasn't working, but let's just hope it works now. So before we get functionality into this, what we want to do is to make sure that this actually works. So let's try printing the string, print hello, and we'll make the duration that month. And compile, and we bring it into the scene. And as you can see, it's right there. Also, you might have noticed two hellos. That's because I brought that one into the scene, and when the game starts, this stuff that looks like a player starts will already spawn a character. If you want the player to already be there before you start the level, or before you make a phase of starting the level, what you need to do is go here, type pawn, or at least pawn, scroll down, and you see auto processes. If you click player 0 to select the one that's already in the scene, and so you no more need this. And by that we should only have one hello. Now if you want it to be an FPS controller, you have to do it through multiple things. The first thing I had already set up before is the inputs, well, axis mappings. I already set it up so it should be easy to use in the main character. And now what we need are nodes. So let's bring turn. Look up. Move forward and move right. And the whole sequence of nodes. This should be what you need to make an FPS character plus the spring arm and camera components, which are right here. And we should be able to move around. You can set it to only have the camera components if you want it to be truly FPS, but yeah, this is what you need to move around. Also, quick information or tip, you also need to do this to bring the film, to make it rotate on the pitch. So now you can fully rotate. But what we want is to be top down and sideways, so we don't really need the FPS character controller. So what we can do is to add a camera component to be the main view. And we go to the transforms, we can do certain tweaks. Like that. And we also need the character to correspond with this kind of setup, so let's try deleting that and try and set it up. So what we want right now is to just leave it there. But we also want it to be seeable, so let's go to the mesh, select skeletal cube, and what I like to do is to set it to 4. Move it down by the Z -50 and set the capsule half height to 50 and the capsule radius to 50 as well, so that it will look as if there's no hovering between the player and the ground. You also don't need the spring arm on the camera, and if we look, it's right there. Also, we want it to be a battle pose. And it should, wait, we also need to set the level blueprints, like to set the view target with blend. And we can also do this. We also need to reference to the camera that we want to make, so all we can do is, well, what we can do is drag this all the way to the level blueprint, and if you drag it there, it should plug in. And so if we play the game again, as you can see, it's right here. Now these black bars should go away, well, at least for me, the times I have tried, it did go away. And we may also want the player to rotate, or at least rotate. So I set up simple blueprints here for it to rotate, and it should rotate. You can also do it that it shouldn't rotate on the pitch by deleting that. in case you want the mouse cursor to show, you can also do this. Instead of the print string, you can set show mouse cursor. Should be here. Exactly. Set show mouse cursor, and you need to get the player controller, because the blueprint that we're doing this in is not the player controller. Now note, there's some nodes that you need to access that you can only access in a blueprint that it's not optimized for, built for, by unchecking the context sensitive. The context sensitive allows you, the context sensitive blocks all nodes that are not relevant to that specific type of blueprint. Without it checked, you can access pretty much any node in in the blueprints. And if you see right now, the mouse cursor is showing, but we need to drag it. I will do a tutorial on how to make sure you can see where the mouse cursor is without you having to drag or click and hold the mouse for it to actually do something with the axis. I'll do that in the next video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.